What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you are new here, this channel is pretty much anything and everything Nintendo related, from Nintendo hunting, news, to random videos like this. I woke up today and I was like, I love the Super Nintendo. I want to make a video about Super Nintendo games that I love, and hopefully you guys enjoy some of these games as well. But without further ado, we got to talk about one of my favorites. And honestly, there's probably going to be more than just one favorite in this video. The whole video might be favorites. I'm not sure where it's going yet. This is off the top, off the cuff. Let's get into it. First game, Super Mario World. Without a doubt, a freaking classic. Not to be confused with the game that's over here on the TV screen. That's Super Mario Bros. 3 for the NES. We're not talking about that game. Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo. You gotta play this game. I know some people might be watching this video, surprisingly enough, maybe have never heard of Super Mario World. Honestly, that sounds kind of far-fetched. I feel like everybody on this planet has heard of this game. It's an amazing platformer, and there's just so many amazing levels. I don't know, something about this game. There's certain games, right, for the Super Nintendo that you can just go back to over and over and over again, and this is definitely one of those games. Now, it's kind of funny because, honestly, when you take a step back and jump into older games, you start to realize, oh yeah, these games actually were challenging. Like, especially some of the NES Mario games, but even the Super Nintendo ones, you're like, oh man, you actually get like frustration during certain levels playing these games. Now, even newer Mario games are like that too, but I feel like they've definitely made things a lot easier over the years. But yeah, guys, Super Mario World, definitely let me know down below if you've ever played this game. I feel like everybody has, but maybe not. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you haven't played it. Go get yourself an old, dusty Super Nintendo console, plug that bad boy up, get you a copy of Super Mario World. I think it's like $20 for the game, usually around that price, maybe a little bit higher. I feel like that game fluctuates, but yeah, definitely worth it. Or you can probably get it on the Switch online and pay like, what, $4 a month? Or you can get a Nintendo, Super Nintendo Mini. There's like a bunch of different options. So Super Mario World is just the first game I wanted to mention that, man, I really freaking love. Now, guys, the next game. You can't really talk about Super Mario World without talking about Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's freaking Island. Now, when this game came out, I was confused. I was like, what the heck? You got Yoshi pretty much as the main character. Well, different Yoshis. You got all sorts of different variants of Yoshi. But then you're just carrying a baby version of Mario. So for this game to have been a sequel doesn't make any sense. I really wish somebody would have been like, this is why this is happening. It's just like, no, I kind of look at the game as more of a prequel almost, because you have baby Mario, and it's just like, I don't know. Even to this day, I'm sure there's more research behind the game, but to this day, I've still just been a little confused as to what happened. But it almost doesn't matter, because the game is so freaking good. Now, you got Yoshi, you're throwing your freaking eggs at the enemies, at the little questions up there, the little question clouds. You get the little star guys. I used to call them jumping jacks when I was a kid. I'd be like, yeah, I need the jumping jacks. I probably said it in that voice, too. I had a little pipsqueak voice, but jumping jacks, that's definitely not what they're called, but that's, to me, what they're always going to be called. You can't take that away from me. Don't even try. But, guys, this game showed me, oh, there's a little bit more depth. A little bit more depth when it comes to some of these platformers, because Super Mario World was just, let's get to the end. Let's try not to die. Let's get to the goalpost. Even though you could unlock secret levels, so there was a little bit more to it. But Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, you had to get the freaking red coins, and those things were hiding randomly. You'd hit like a regular coin, and then it'd go, or like something like that. My impression of the sound is probably completely wrong, but it'd be somewhere around there. And yeah, I think there were 8 red coins in every level. I can't remember, but you would try to do that. You would try to get the 5 flowers, and there was something else. Oh, those little jumping jacks, the little star guys. You'd have to have 30, I think, out of 30. Every time you get hit in this game, you lose your Mario. Oh my gosh, this is probably the most annoying part of this entire game. You get used to it, kind of, but Mario takes off in a little bubble and he's just crying because he's a little baby. It makes sense. And then you got the freaking flying, I don't know, they're like Magic Koopas. They're not Magic Koopas, they're some sort of minions. I don't know their names. I should probably go back and do a little more research and learn some of these names, because now I'm collecting all the toys, but I don't know if they made toys of those guys. Little off topic, but anyways, those guys would just come and start getting Mario, and I remember the first time I saw it, it kind of scared me. Like, I was a little kid, I was like, no, that's my baby. Like, it was ridiculous. But yeah, and they would just take him away. Just take the baby. Like, what? What were they thinking? Freaking nuts. But yeah, so anyways, back to the thing here. You'd get to the end of the level and you would try to get 100%, which was kind of tough, because if that happened and Mario was taken away, those little star guys would start going down. You'd like start losing them or something. I forget. Like, I think when you got hurt, maybe they'd... Oh man, I gotta go back and play this game all over again. It's been like 6 months, but I can't remember some of the details. But yeah, basically that would go down, and then you'd have to go and try to find more of those. But a lot of the times you'd get to the end of the level, and there wouldn't be any more. But you could carry different items that would help you. And that would be one of the items. It would add some of that to your health, essentially. And then, boom, you can get 100%. Now, the whole point of doing 100%, first of all, you want to be the best gamer of all time, you got to do it. Second of all, 100% would unlock, I think, 1 or 2 levels. I think it was 2 levels at the end, and I can't remember if they were just regular levels or if one was like an extra boss fight or something. I just remember those levels being ridiculous. To this day, I've never played through the whole thing 100%. I got like pretty close. I think I did like, I say pretty close, I'm like, I probably did halfway, which is not close at all, but anyways, you get what I'm getting at. Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. Clearly, I could ramble about that game probably for another 4 minutes. I freaking love that game. I feel like both of those games right there are staples. Staples. My staples for the Super Nintendo, and everyone should play them. Now, hopefully, you know, I get it. These games go up in value. Well, those games aren't super expensive, but games in general tend to go up in value. There's different ways to play these games. Once again, I think both of them were on the Super Nintendo Classic, if I'm not mistaken. Although nowadays, that might be a little harder to get your hands on one of those. Probably got to get on eBay. Or you can save a lot of money if you have a Nintendo Switch and get on the Switch Online service, and I'm pretty sure over there it's very, very cheap. So like $4 for the month or something. I said it earlier. Anyways, guys, that's enough about Mario. Just kidding. No, just kidding. All right, so the next, we'll just mix them all up. Well, first of all, we'll talk about the first game, Donkey Kong Country. If we're talking about staples for the Super Nintendo, I know it's another platformer, but still, it's just like a freaking classic game. The music is beautiful. The level design is amazing. And oh my gosh, the colors. This game really just showed you like what the Super Nintendo was capable of. The colors on this thing is just freaking... Oh, hit you right in the nostalgia. Freaking amazing game. Very tough at times. It's kind of like the Mario games too. Once again, kind of what I was saying with some of these retro games. Now you play some of the newer games, like, well, Donkey Kong. We haven't really had a new game in a while. Donkey Kong, looking at Tropical Freeze over there sitting on the shelf. Anyways, those games back then obviously were a lot tougher. It is what it is, but I'm glad I got to play them when I did, because I feel like it made me a little bit better when it came to gaming, at least with platformers, because now it's like, okay, yeah, this is tough, but this isn't as bad as this. Like, anyways, Donkey Kong Country, great game, definitely worth the money as well. I'm pretty sure that's another like $20 game or so not too expensive. Once again, almost positive it's on the Switch Online and the Super Nintendo Mini, so there's other ways to play these games. If you gotta download it. Who said that? This guy over here. Don't listen to him. Do what you gotta do. I'm not judging. But definitely Donkey Kong Country. Another game to recommend. Another chill title. This isn't really like a hidden gems list or anything like that, so don't take it that way. This is just fun games that I think everybody should play. Next up, you kind of know the theme of this freaking video. We can't just talk about the first game and not talk about the superior sequel, Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy's Kong Quest. Oh my gosh. Very rare do I feel like the sequel surpasses the original. In this case, oh my gosh, the music, once again, the level design, The freaking graphics, again, comparable to the first game. Same console they're running on. But, oh man, do they just ramp it up on this second game. They added so many more little friendly characters. There's so many. I forget all of them. You get the oh, no, not the parrot. Now, some of these were also in the first game. You could, like, ride on the rhino and stuff like that. But, oh man, I don't know. That was, like, probably one of my favorite parts of Donkey Kong Country 2. Well, really, either of the Donkey Kong games, just getting those little buddies. Just like, you get a little friend and they get to help you out, and there's all sorts of different tactics, like the spider would like release a little web and you could jump on him, and you'd have to do that to get to like the bonus barrels, the freaking bonus levels. I don't know. Whenever you found one of these, you got so excited as a kid. You just be like, make this distinct sound, and then you get shot up into the sky, and then it's like, pressure's on, anxiety. You'd get like 20 seconds to get to the end or kill all the bad guys or whatever. And then there were other ones where it was like, you had to, you had to like hit the certain barrel, and if you got it right, you'd get bananas. If not, you'd get like an enemy or something, or they just go like, ow, and you get hurt. Like, oh, I freaking love these games so much, guys. Okay, so you can't talk, I mean, you can definitely talk about Donkey Kong 1, Donkey Kong 2, and you don't have to talk about Donkey Kong 3, but we're already going to talk about it. Donkey Kong 3, I think it still fits under what I'm saying about this video. Games that are still fun, games that you should play. It's still up there. If you like platformers, I mean, dang, all of these games are platformers, so it makes sense. We'll throw another game at the end that's not a platformer, don't worry. But Donkey Kong Country 3 is still a great game. It's still fun. The levels are great. I think I don't know if it's the music director, I'm not exactly sure, but the music definitely changed up a little bit on the third game, and everything about that game just felt, I don't know. Like I said, I've gone back to it recently. I still really enjoy it because it's still nostalgic to me. I played it when I was a kid. Playing it when I'm like an adult, I feel like if I played it for the first time, right after playing 1 and 2, I don't know if it would still have that same effect. But then again, I don't know if 1 and 2 would have the same effect. Nostalgia. Nostalgia rules everything. It's crazy. But yeah, Donkey Kong 3 is still worth playing. Once again, I think the price is comparable, maybe the $20, $30 range. Probably can play it through the online service or the mini, one of those two. Hopefully, let me know down below if I'm wrong about any of these games in the comments. But yeah, Donkey Kong 3, still a fun game. Still worth checking out. Do you have to finish it? I mean, you don't have to finish any of these games. If you just don't like them, play a little bit, put the controller down. You might rage quit, though. Especially on Donkey Kong Country 2. Was it Bramble Branch? Bramble Scramble? We're not talking about that freaking level. Oh my gosh. The thorns! They're everywhere! Back to DK3. Still a fun game. Just, I don't know. Something about it overall just lacked. So if I was going to rank those 3 games, I think I've done it before. Donkey Kong Country 2, top of the list, baby. Way up in the sky. Donkey Kong Country, which is crazy because it's the original. And you'd think the original would be the better game. But to me, in my opinion, it's not. The sequel surpassed it somehow. The sequel did everything the first game did and added just a little bit more, which is perfect. So Donkey Kong Country would be second, and then Donkey Kong Country 3, you can't even see it. It's down here. It doesn't deserve to be on the screen. Just kidding. We'll put it right there on the screen. Donkey Kong Country 3. Still worth playing. Still fun in my opinion. Not super expensive. Unless you want it CIB, then you probably shouldn't be doing that. But yeah, still a good game. Definitely worth checking out. Now guys, the last game. I could probably ramble about this last game way too long. You guys also let me know if you want me to do a deep dive into any of these games, maybe do like an actual review. I've only done a few reviews on this channel, and I had a lot of fun making them. I just haven't really gone back to any reviews lately. I'll do it soon if you guys want. If not, I'm going to keep just doing random videos because it's a little bit more fun. But back to the topic. The last game I want to talk about is Super Mario RPG. Not a platformer. Although I think there's a couple small elements of platforming throughout. Anyways. This game, guys, opened up my freaking eyes to the beautiful world of role-playing games. I didn't know how much I was going to like these games. I feel like this is one of those things that if I didn't play that game when I was a kid or any other game like it, I don't know if later on I would have gotten into RPGs at all. Because it's just one of those things whenever you try something like that when you're a kid, it's like later on, dang, kind of paved the path to what you like. But yes, guys, Super Mario RPG, I don't know how old I was when I played this game, but oh my gosh. the music, the character. There's just so many random characters in this game. You get freaking Gino. Oh my gosh, Gino was so sick. One day he'll be in Super Smash Bros. Yeah, right. Then you get Mallow. Not in this order, actually. You get Mallow first. Mallow's just like this little cloud guy. And it's just like... you can tell he's just getting picked on by this, like, crocodile dude. And he's just puffing up. And then he's crying. And then he has, like, this weather control power. But you go on this amazing adventure. He's trying to find out, like, what the heck? Like, you're like, where did this guy come from? And then it's like, it just unfolds. It's seriously one of the best games of all time. I'm not just saying that because I'm biased and I love Mario in general. It's just like the story, man. One of the first games I played when I was a kid where the story just like punched me in the freaking face. And I was like, oh my gosh, a beautiful game, beautiful game, beautiful RPG. Definitely worth playing. This game has gone up in value, which is crazy because it used to be pretty cheap. At some point it was cheap at least. Maybe cheap, it was still like 30 or 40, but I feel like it was cheaper than that. I think last time I checked it was like 50 or 60 bucks, maybe more. Like maybe even, I feel like I saw somewhere around 100, but I was like, no way, that game is not worth 100. It is worth 100 bucks in my opinion because it's such a great game. You're going to get 20, 30 plus hours of gameplay. Little side note, I feel like that's why RPGs, JRPGs in general, those type of games tend to hold on to value and even go up in value because you're not just playing a game for 5 to 10 hours. These games are very immersive. You're jumping in. It's probably 15, 20 hours, usually at a minimum, but then upwards to 50, 60, 70, 80 hours. Imagine paying 100 bucks for a game, but then you get like 100 hours out of it or something close to it. It's like, yeah, that kind of justifies spending that much money. Plus, you can always sell the game later after you beat it if you're not a collector. That's fine. Some people frown upon that. I don't. Do whatever you want with your money. I don't care. Back to Super Mario RPG, guys. Beautiful game. Definitely worth playing. I think it's on the Switch Online, if I'm not mistaken. If not, it's on the classic, or they did do the remaster, the HD treatment, whatever you want to call it, remake for the Nintendo Switch. So you can play that as well if you have a Switch. Maybe that's the better version. I don't know. I've heard different things. I've heard some people are like, you know, the original is always better. But then when you have a new game like that, they always add different things to it as well. So if you're like a huge fan of the game, probably worth checking out both at some point. Like I said, I could jump into this game and ramble way longer. I'm not going to do that to you guys. I just wanted to pop in here. It's not really a pop in. This video is a little longer than I thought. But I woke up and I had Super Nintendo on my mind. I was like, I want to talk about some Super Nintendo games. Oh yeah, I have a Nintendo channel specifically for stuff like this. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit that like button. That way it pushes this video out. If you don't even care to leave a comment or anything, you don't have to. But just literally clicking like on any of these videos helps because it, I don't know, it does something with YouTube and those algorithms and the robots and the lab. I don't know what they do. They do something. But it will push this video out. And if you want to support this channel at the very minimum, that is like the best thing you can do. Of course, you can subscribe. You can share the video as well. That helps. But comment or like the video or leave a comment. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys thought of this video. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this. There's so many more Super Nintendo games out there. These are just kind of like, everyone knows about these games, but if you never really jumped into the Super Nintendo, then you might have found this video useful. Maybe you're like, oh, these games look awesome. I have never played Nintendo games. You could be a PlayStation diehard fan or Xbox diehard fan and be like, I'm not jumping into Nintendo, and then you see this video and you're like, oh yeah, I want to jump into Nintendo. Do it. Anyways, guys, I appreciate all of y'all. Let me know down in the comments as well, if you're still over there typing. Type. What other kind of Nintendo videos you guys like to see? I like doing the discussion videos. You guys seem to really like that. This is kind of a discussion as well, because I always like to ask questions and open up the topic for different things. So let me know down below if you guys have any other suggestions for future videos. And if enough of you guys want something, then maybe I'll do it. So once again, I appreciate all of y'all. Till next time, y'all have a great day. Peace.